Welcome to Smalltalk Daily for Tuesday, February 2nd, 2010. This morning I'm going to go through the same kind of RESTful web service I went through yesterday, but using Seaside instead of Web Toolkit. So to get started, let's go to the Parcel Manager, and I'll show you what you need to load. First, you come down here to Web Development, and Seaside is now in Web Development instead of its own Seaside category. You just hit Seaside All, and go ahead and load that. Once that comes in, you can close that. I'm going to connect to the public store repository. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to load in the JSON code that I used yesterday. So I'm going to get JSON Reader, load the latest version, and once that comes in, all I need to do now is create my code. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to load a package that I created ahead of time so you don't have to watch me type. What I've done is I've created my new subclass of WA component. I've even just left it in the Smalltalk namespace. I'd probably, for a real application, put it in its own namespace, but we're not worried about that right now. In the initialize method, I've gone ahead and created a data dictionary and put the same things I put in it yesterday. And then all I really need to do is go to render content on, and this is a little different than things were in 2.8. In 2.8, you remember there was this return response thing you did. Here in 3.0, they've refactored things a bit. What you do is you ask for the request context and tell it to respond. The thing that comes into it, this is a block, as the response object is right here, and then you just fill it in. So I'm going to get my JSON data by doing self data as JSON, tell the response that its content type is application JSON, and then tell the response to put JSON on it. I can treat it as a stream in this case. Now once I've done that, all I needed to do was also, since this is a basic Seaside thing, is tell it that this component can be root, and in the initialize method register it as an application. I'm going to call it SVC point, and now I can browse that using a web browser. First, what I want to do is start the server, and then once it's started, I can go over to my browser and I can put in the base URL for this, which would be localhost on port 7777, and I should see SVC point right there. And you see that it's downloading this thing, and I can go ahead and open that, and it's going to bring it up in a text editor, and there it is. There's my JSON right there. So same thing in Seaside, even simpler than it was in Web Toolkit, not terribly difficult to create, and you now have the ability to have any arbitrary end user application that expects JSON to grab that JSON from a Seaside enabled server, and you can create as many entry points like this as you want. Some of them could return XML as long as they go ahead and do that. Some of them could return JSON, some of them could return other stuff. Point is, you can do pretty much whatever you want using that request context methodology I just showed you. So that's about it for today. Until next time, have fun with Smalltalk.